live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing to you live from the National News Studios here at Rupavahini. We are ready to bring you the top stories here at home and around the world. I am Charita Minupurarachi.
And I'm Kasuni Balachandra Adhikari. We start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
A respite from the rainy weather condition. Immediate relief for those who have been affected. GCE advanced level examination not to be held until the 3rd of December. Attention of World Bank in the eradication of poverty, digitalization and economic development in Sri Lanka. A positive rating for Sri Lanka from Moody's. Case against former Minister Rajitha concerning the leasing of Moody Fisheries Harbour for a low price taken up for hearing. Life sentence for 7 Iranian nationals in connection with transporting heroin. The tasker which beautified Kalawever is no more. A colossal missile attack from Russia targeting the energy network of Ukraine.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with the top story. The Disaster Management Centre says that the adverse weather condition have affected over 400,000 people throughout the island.
And 12 deaths have been confirmed and 1 person is reported missing due to bad weather-related incidents. The water level of Vellavaya Alikotiyara Reservoir has risen sharply. 3 sluice gates of the reservoir have been opened, 1 foot each. The water will be released into Kirindioya. The Department of Irrigation informs the people residing around this area to remain alert. With the continuing incessant rains, the historic Polonnaruwa Somavati sacred site has been inundated by about 5 feet. In the meantime, 5 farmers who were trapped in Valikanda area due to floods while engaging in farming activities were rescued yesterday. 430 families in the district have been housed in safety centres. District Secretary says that all necessary facilities have been provided. Twelve sluice gates of the Rajangane Reservoir are opened at present. The Irrigation Department says a water flow of 14,400 cubic feet per second is released to Kalawever. All the 6 sluice gates of the Nachadu irrigational tank are opened at present. The Kiralawa Bridge along the Kekirawa-Mathatugama road has been closed down temporarily due to a danger of subsiding. It is reported that the bridge has been threatened due to release of water in the Ibankatu reservoir. The upcountry railway line has been blocked due to landslides, fall of earth mounds and trees. The railway department says that therefore railway services have been restricted to Batulla. 14 divisional secretariat areas in the particular district have been severely affected due to floods. District Secretariat says that 43,640 individuals of 14,266 families have been affected. Normal life in the district have also been affected. Heavy rains and floods have destroyed a number of irrigational tanks and bunds in the Ampara district. Over 156,000 persons have been displaced in the district. According to the district secretary, breach of 29 tanks in Vaunia district due to heavy rains have been reported. Another 250 tanks are in a state of danger. He informs the public to be alert about this situation, and security personnel of area are trying hard to safeguard the bunds of those tanks. 363 persons belonging to 125 families in the district have been directed to secure centres. According to District Secretary, another 775 families are also affected. Food and other welfare facilities needed by them have been provided. In the meantime, the army yesterday had been successful in saving the life of a youth who had been carried away by the current in the Kalmuduwa tank. The body of a youth who went missing after drowning at a Mahagattakuda area in Vaunia was found today by a joint operation conducted by Sri Lanka Navy and the police. 898 persons in 226 families in the Nuwara district have been affected by the inclement weather. Nuwara district secretariat says 147 houses have been partly damaged in the district. The affected people have been shifted to 7 safety centres. Two sluice gates of the Upper Kotmale Reservoir in Nuwara have been opened at present. There is a possibility of automatically opening the other sluice gates when the water levels rapidly increases. Therefore, the Nuwara District Disaster Management Unit informs public living close to these river banks of Kotmale Oya to be vigilant on rising water levels. Collapse of a building in Galgadara along the Kurunagala-Kandy Road is recorded in a camera. Many areas in the Kurunagala district have gone underwater with the opening of sluice gates of the Dadruoya Reservoir. Meanwhile, 3 persons trapped in the floods at Adampan area in Kobegane has been safely rescued by the army today. They are engaged in a fishing rearing business and a woman is also amongst the rescued. Three sluice gates of the Hakwatanava Reservoir at Polpitigame in Kurunagala have been opened. 8 sluice gates of the Polkola Dam in Kandy have been opened at present and a water flow of about 35,000 cubic meters per second is released to Victoria Reservoir from this dam. Six houses in the Navalapiti area have been subjected to subsidizing. Navalapiti police say 28 residents of these houses have been evacuated to safer places. Puttlam District Disaster Management Centre says 16,919 people belonging to 5,303 families in 10 divisional secretariat areas in the Puttlam have been affected. The highest damages are reported from the Mundalama divisional secretariat area. Flood threat has occurred in the Chila, Pallama and Arachikattu areas following the opening of sluice gates of the Dadroe Reservoir. Many houses have submerged, affecting about 80 families. Several areas in the Anuradhapura district have gone underwater due to overflow of Yarnoya. Our correspondent says that army officials provide transport facilities for the people in transport disrupted areas. Sri Lanka Air Force engaged in monitoring activities in Jaffna area today using a Bell 212 helicopter. Defence Secretary retired Air Vice Marshal Sampath Tuyakunta also participated in this mission. The Air Force also airlifted a group of patients having treatment at the Delta Island to Jaffna Teaching Hospital. Sri Lanka Air Force also monitors the either side of the Dadroya River, Chila, Puttlam areas and Samanture, Batiklo, Mahawaya, Padyatalav areas using the Bell 212 helicopters.
According to the Department of Meteorology, the deep depression in the southwestern Bay of Bengal is expected to further intensify into a cyclone today. In the meantime, it is requested to refrain from naval and fishing activities around the deep sea and shallow sea waters around the island until further notice. Director General of the Met Department Atula Karunanayaka said that the condition of forming a cyclone remains, but it will not enter Sri Lanka. He added that it will be travelling out of the island. Director of the Irrigation Engineer SPC Sukeshwaras pointed out that many areas of the island did not receive an increased rainfall during the last 24 hours and certain areas in Bolathir district especially received more than 100 mm rainfall. No other area has recorded a rainfall exceeding 50 millimeters. The danger of flood condition affected several rivers of the island has also been produced. Minister of Rural Development and Social Empowerment Upali Pannilage observed the President Ranil Anudakumar Dissanayake has instructed to provide necessary compensation after promulgating necessary laws considering the losses incurred to affect people in Ampara district. He made his observation participating in a discussion regarding the disaster situation prevailing in the Ampara district. Minister Upali Pannilage said that the 3 armed forces have been engaged in emergency and rescue operations during the past 1 week in the northern and eastern provinces. He also said that about 6,150 displaced persons have been stationed in 43 camps. The minister pointed out that the President has given instructions to restore the properties damaged due to the inclement weather condition to pay compensation immediately. He added that all the provisions necessary to the district would be provided without delay. Deputy Minister of Transport and Highways Dr. Prasanna Gunasena says the steps would be taken in order to apply long-term solutions for minimizing disaster conditions happen in the Kandy district due to heavy rains in the future. He made this statement participating in a discussion regarding the present disaster situation in Kandy district. Deputy Minister Dr. Prasanna Gunasena said that most of the roads which has been covered with earth mounds due to landslides have been restored so far. He also said that one road belonging to the Road Development Authority and 4 roads of Provincial Roads Development Authority are still under the cover of earth mounds. He added that efforts are being taken to restore these roads also as soon as possible.
The Department of Examinations has decided to not hold the GCE Advanced Level Examination until the 3rd of next month. Accordingly, the exam will recommence on the 4th of December. Earlier decision has been taken to not hold the exam until the 29th of this month due to inclement weather. However, at a press briefing held today, Commissioner General of Examinations Amit Jayasundara said that the subjects relevant to the 6 days of not holding the examination will recommence from the 21st of December. Commissioner General of Examinations Amit Jayasundara said that the department announced earlier that the exam would not be held from the 27th to the 29th. He said that, however, that time period will be extended up to the 3rd of December for 6 days. He added that the exam will recommence on Wednesday, the 4th of December. The Commissioner General of Examinations further said that the scheduled subjects will be held on that day as usual. He said that accordingly, the subject scheduled on 27 November will be held on Saturday, 21st of December, and subjects scheduled on Thursday, 28 November will be held on Sunday, 23rd December. The subject scheduled to be held on Friday, 29 November will be held on Friday, 27 December. And he further said that the subject scheduled to be held on Saturday, 30th November will recommence on Saturday, 28 December. Amit Jayasundara said the subjects of Monday, 2nd December will be held on Monday, 30th December. He said that the subject scheduled to be held on Tuesday, 3rd of December will recommence on Tuesday, 31st December. The Commissioner General said that the Examinations Department expects to continuously inform students regarding this change of examination dates.
And Moody's raised Sri Lanka's CA long-term foreign currency rating following the government's bond exchange offer aimed at completing the restructuring of international bonds. It is an important part of the island nation ongoing $12.55 billion debt restructuring and efforts to stabilize the economy. Moody's provisionally rated the NIV US dollar denominated debt offering CAA1 3 notches above the current sovereign rating, though still deep into junk. The government offered macro-linked bonds, a governance-linked bond, and set up a past-due interest bonds. And MLBs have a downside on principle, and the GLB is the first of its kind, which raised doubts about whether agencies would rate the bonds, a requirement for inclusion in the indexes. Moody's announcement of rating the MLB is sensible and should support trading liquidity of the securities post-exchange, said Sam Timoid, head of emergency market and fixed income at T. Rowe Price, adding the contingency features of MLB built on established precedent in global fixed income. Moody said that the offerings will rank equally with other similar government obligations. Sri Lanka had defaulted on its foreign debt and the first time in May 2022, railing under a severe crisis amid a heavy debt burden and declining foreign exchange reserves.
The World Bank says that Sri Lanka has been selected as one of the 20 countries worldwide to host the Integrated South Asia office set to open 2025. A virtual meeting was held yesterday between President Andrukumar Dissanayake and the President of the World Bank Group, Ajay Banga, at the Presidential Secretariat to discuss Sri Lanka's future development priorities. The President of the World Bank Group highlighted his commitment to promoting job creation and addressing critical development challenges. These priorities included providing Sri Lanka with financial and technical assistance to implement innovative solutions in sectors such as people's education, healthcare, social protection and economic prosperity. The World Bank support also extends to economic policy, finance, competitiveness, investments, institutional development and poverty alleviation. Additionally, efforts are focused on advancing agriculture, water management, climate action action, environmental sustainability, social inclusion, infrastructure and digital transformation. During the meeting, President Dissanayake emphasized the government's focus on poverty alleviation, particularly in rural areas. He also stressed the need for increasing government revenue through digitization and by strengthening key sectors such as tourism, the maritime industry, state-owned enterprises and the energy sector, with a focus on encouraging investor participation in power generation. The President further discussed efforts to promote economic development in the north and east of Sri Lanka, particularly in improving education, healthcare and human resource development. President Dissanayake also emphasized the need to improve vocational education in parallel to academic education to meet the evolving needs of the workforce in these regions. Deputy Minister of Economic Development Professor Anil Jayantha Fernando and Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning Dr. Harshana Surya Prema also participated in this discussion.
And meanwhile, the case against former Minister Rajitha Senaratne on the allegations that he incurred at a loss of the government by leasing Moody Fisheries Harbour to a private company for an insignificant amount was taken up by the court, Colombo High Court, today. The case has been filed by the Bribery Commission against Rajitha Senaratne, who had been the Minister of Fisheries in 2014, along with the other three defendants. The Bribery Commission has informed the courts that the loss has been incurred by leasing Moody Fisheries Harbour to a company named Sea Gulf UK Private Limited at a lesser amount of money. Rajitha Senaratne has been alleged for encouraging the Director Board of the Fisheries Harbour to cooperate in this case. The Colombo Magistrate Court today ordered to call back the warrant issued to Parliament member Arjuna Ramanathan for not appearing before the court in an incident related to attacking a person in a vehicular accident. The relevant case was called before the Colombo Additional Magistrate came in the Pereira today in accordance with a motion presented by the attorney of the suspected member of Parliament. The attorney pointed out that when the case was called on the 26th of this month, the client participated in a session of Parliament as a member of Parliament. The attorney has presented a letter to the court confirming the same reason. The case is expected to be taken up for hearing on the 4th of March next year. The Colombo High Court today rejected a request for freeing two defendants on bail. The Colombo High Court ordered life imprisonment to 7 Iranian nationals who pledged guilty for the allegations of transporting heroin. They had been taken into custody by the police while transporting more than 425 kilograms of heroin narcotic in the seashore of Matakulia, Colombo in 2019. The appeal court today ordered to take up a petition on the 11th February filed by His Eminence Cardinal requesting to order the marking bonds of boundaries of Muthurajabala Sanctuary Reserve area.
Minister Sunil Handunathe says that all institutions incurring losses which are under the Ministry of Industries and Entrepreneurship Development would be raised to institutions which would be earning profits. He made these observations participating in an inspection tour of the Gems and Jewellery Authority. Deputy Minister Chaturanga Besinga along with some others participated in the tour. The minister, addressing the officials of Gems and Jewellery Authority, said that steps have to be taken in order to double the income by next year. Minister Sunil Handunathe said that our major policy is the strengthening of national productivity economy and the participation of people in this regard, along with the distribution of benefits in a justifiable manner to them. He added that the income of the country is now between $300 million and the target is to double it. He pointed out that the mining for gems has to be conducted without causing any damage to the environment, and he added that the issuing of licenses for gem mining has to be taken into consideration several times. He also said that he will be owning the responsibility for each and every employee of this institution, but will be responsible for those which can be productive. He also pointed out that in the past, the government and the ministers who were responsible for these institutions had always talked about selling them only. He concluded by promising that Gems and Jewellery Authority, along with other institutions, would be converted into profit-earning entities by end of this year. The minister also observed the activities of the Katabata Industrial Development Board. A minister observed here that the contribution of the institution for local industries had to be raised.
And meanwhile, 9 newly appointed ambassadors and 1 High Commissioner to Sri Lanka officially presented their credentials to President Anura Kumar Dissanayake this morning at the Presidential Secretariat.
This embassy has been established in New Delhi in India. They engaged in the diplomatic service from these officers. Dr. Desiree Boniface handed over his credentials as the ambassador of Burkina Faso. Haris Hurley is the ambassador of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Elchin Husseinul handed over credentials as the ambassador of Republic of Azerbaijan. Vakhtang Joshil is the ambassador of Georgia. Mikhail Kasko handed over credentials as the ambassador of Republic of Belarus. Vahan Afyan is the new ambassador of Republic of Armenia. Juan Antonio Bach Pujol is ambassador of Kingdom of Spain. Raymond Sergibale handed over credentials as the ambassador of Republic of Congo. Munir Peter Maina is the ambassador of Republic of Kenya. Ambassador of Republic of Guyana is Lesan Conte.
Several former cabinet ministers were called to the Criminal Investigation Department today as well in order to get statements regarding the granting of cabinet approval to import low-quality pharmaceuticals. Former cabinet ministers Nima Siripal de Silva, Bandar Gunawardena and Kanchana Vijayasekara visited the CID this morning.
And the National Seminar on Accidents of 2024 started in Colombo today under the patronage of Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa. The theme of this year's seminar is Accident Treatment Progress and Improving the Results of Patients. A special feature in this year's seminar would be the participation of doctors and health terms of 10 countries who will be engaged in preventing accidents. Another aim of this seminar would be the exchange of views among local physicians and health staffs, along with the new trends in the world regarding the prevention of accidents and also the exchange of technology.
From various specialties, nurses, researchers and policymakers. It serves as a forum for sharing knowledge, exchanging experiences and fostering collaborations that can drive innovation and improve outcomes for trauma patients across the country. I take this opportunity to commend the National Trauma Secretariat for organizing this event and WHO Country Office for Sri Lanka for supporting this event. Also, I would like to express my gratitude for all experts who traveled across the globe and Sri Lankan experts who are battling daily with trauma country for coming here to sharing their knowledge and expertise.
A special session for educating on high employment centers in Japan was held at the Information Technology University in Japan yesterday with the aim of creating successful IT professionals who could win the future. Yamada Tetsuya, representing JICA, Vice Chairman of LNBTI and founder of Etsanid Institute, Dinesh Sapramadu, Professor Kiichi Tao of Meta Techno Institute, Senior Advisor of LNBTI, Koga Michio, and Vice Chancellor of the LNBTI, Professor Anand Kumara, participated at the opening discussion. Representing JICA, Yamada Tetsuya explained that there are ample amount of employment opportunities for IT professionals in Japan.
Enlightened by playing the piece.
ICT sector in Japan employs a lot of engineers, even if you compare with the other markets in the world. Of course, United States of America employs the most number of IT engineers in the world, followed by China, India, and here comes Japan. Japan ranks number 4 in terms of number of IT engineers. Japan Market Development Program for ICT companies and tech startups of Sri Lanka, inviting about 30 IT BPM companies of Sri Lanka to our office to have a little workshop. That was the half-day workshop explaining you about, what is the feature, salient feature of Japanese market, what needs to be done on your part if you are to penetrate into the very unique market of Japan.
The Australian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Paul Stevens, says that the new government's bribery and corruption-free program has attracted foreign investors. He made these remarks when he met President Secretary Dr. Nandika Sanath Kumanayaka. The Australian High Commissioner stated that his country will extend his support for the program implemented by the Sri Lankan government to establish a mechanism free of bribery and corruption. The High Commissioner added that Australia will be committed to further strengthen the 75-year-old friendship between the two countries. Australia has also focused attention to provide technical support for the sectors of national security, maritime affairs, digitalization, modernizing of state sector vocational training and power and energy. The Australian High Commission also commended the President's concept of Clean Sri Lanka program and agreed to extend Australia's support to it. Meanwhile, President Dissanayake has appointed 2 new secretaries to key ministries. As per the appointments, K.R. Uduwawala will serve as Secretary to the Ministry of Environment and Y.L. Mohammed Nabawi will take on the role of Secretary to the Ministry of Science and Technology.
The State Literary Awards ceremony was held at the Temple Trees yesterday. Awards and certificates were awarded for the outstanding literary compilations of last year. The ceremony was held under the patronage of Minister of Buddhist Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs Professor Hinduma Sunil Senevi. The ceremony was organised by the Department of Cultural Affairs and awards were presented for works in Sinhala, English and Tamil languages. Canelian novel written by Virajini Thenakon received the award for the best novel. Bohemian Sankave Lupan Sahabu Jua, compiled by Kumar Hettiarachi, received the award for the best independent prose and poetry compilation. Prabhat Jayasinghe received the award for the best short story collection for the book titled Magaharanu Dupat. Best Children's Prose and Poetry Award was given to Anagate Lokevate, compiled by Nuantotavatta. 3 Sahitya Ratna Awards were also presented at the ceremony. In the English section, Professor Emeritus Walter Pereira and Anna Lakshmi Rajadure in the Tamil section received awards. In the Sinhala section, the award has been received by Professor Jinadasa Danan Surya.
And meanwhile, the Embassy of Japan hosted a concert in collaboration with Sri Lanka Nippon Bistec Institute on the 26th of this month at the residence of Japanese ambassador. Shogo Hiroshi, a distinguished master of the Kutabiryu School, and Konoga Michiro Nando celebrated such shy Japanese flute player as participated in this concert.
And here's more local news items in brief. Deputy Minister of National Integration Mohammed Munir assumed duties today at the ministry in Rajagiriya. He obtained blessings participating in all religious observances. Minister Hashan Nanakara along with ministry officials joined this occasion. Engineer Upal Ratnayake has been appointed as the new chairman of National Paper Corporation.
And meanwhile, the tasker named Degadatu, which beautified the Kala Weber Reserve, is found dead. This occurred due to getting the tasker entangled in an illegal live electric wire. The tusker, which frequently surrounding area of Kalaweber Reserve, has been popular among elephant lovers as Diga 1. The tusker has died after being electrocuted near a house at Igruweber area, Andiagama in Anuradhapura. It was found about 35 to 40 years of age when it faced this tragic situation. The officials of the Kalkiriagaba Wildlife Office and police have initiated further investigations in this respect. Diger has been considered as the tusker with the biggest tusk in recent times in Kalaweber Reserve. Anyone visiting Kalaweber before 5 to 6 years was able to catch a sight of 5 to 6 tuskers in the reserve. Several big tuskers which beautified the Kalabeva Reserve died untimely due to the various reasons in the past. 2 tuskers had died before due to the electrocution. Tusker named Diga 2 and Dela have also disappeared by now. According to elephant laws, with the death of Diga Dantu, the elephant generation of Kalabeva face the fate of extinction in the days to come. That's it on tonight's stories. Do just with the foreign news coming up next.
Dengue.
Welcome back with international stories. And more than 1 billion people in Ukraine have been left without power after Russia launched a massive strike on the country's energy grid overnight.
The coordinated assault unfolded over several hours with waves of drones and missiles flying across the length and breadth of Ukraine, the second attack of its kind this month. Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky said cluster munitions were used specifically against civilian and energy infrastructure. Russian President Vladimir Putin said Russia launched 90 missiles and 100 drones in response to Ukraine's attacks with UK and US supplied weapons last week. And in your sports news tonight, Sri Lanka Test cricket team were out today for the lowest score in an innings in the first Test match against South Africa. Today, Sri Lanka were restricted for 42 runs in the first innings.
The match is being played at Kingsmead Grounds in Durban. With the second day's play starts today, South Africa were 80 runs for loss of 4 wickets in the first innings. Sri Lankan bowlers restricted South Africa's first innings to 191 runs. Captain Tempa Bavuma is the highest scorer with 70 runs. Azitha Fernando and Lahiru Kumaro claimed 3 wickets each, and Prabhat Jayasuriya and Vishwa Fernando got 2 wickets each. Reply Pratap Nishanka and Dimut Karuratne opened the Sri Lankan first innings and both were out at 7 runs in the scoreboard. All Sri Lankan batsmen fell before South Africa pace bowlers. On day, Kamidu Bendis and Lahiru Kumaro passed the 10 runs margin, and Marco Johnson claimed 7 Sri Lankan wickets for only 13 runs. Sri Lankan innings were recorded in the Test cricket history as the lowest score on an inning. Early in 1994, Sri Lanka were all out for 71 runs against Pakistan. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka's 42 runs in the first innings is the lowest score claimed by any Test team in the Kingsmead Grounds. South Africa is their second innings and 132 runs for the loss of 3 wickets at the stumps.
And Sri Lankan players today were able to win 2 gold medals and 6 bronze medals at the Commonwealth Karate Championship. The championship is being held in Johannesburg, South Africa. Sri Lanka received the first gold medal in the men's cadet team event. PGN Gunawardhan of Kuliapitiya Central College, SK Velagadar of St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia and RR Hevage of DSN Ananka College, Colombo represented the Sri Lankan team. In the junior men's Kumite event of under 70 kg category, KP Konanaik of Ananda College, Colombo received the gold medal, while in the women's cadet event of under 61 kg, HJ Dias of Ladies College, Colombo was able to win the bronze medal. The bronze medal in the junior Kata men's event was won by SK Singalage of Trinity College, Kandy and RR Hevage of DSN Ananka College, Colombo. The junior women's Kata event, LVS Lavingam of Ehrigoda Central College and Tidesi Dinara won the dual bronze medals.
And with that, we conclude tonight news. Do just tomorrow at the very same time. I'm Charita signing with Kasuni. Stay safe and good night.
Good night.